Next, we're going to check out the saxophone, which pretty much plays the same part as the guitar head track. Let's hear it. Now for this, I want to keep it pretty natural. I don't want to do too much EQ or make it sound too aggressive, but we could make the part a little tighter by adding a bit of compression. So let's start with that. We'll keep the ratio 3:1, make the attack and release a little quicker, and play with the threshold. That'll just keep the performance very even. Before. It's subtle, but it's effective. As far as EQ, we have this on there now. Let's hear it bypassed. It's a bit darker, but it does cut. So let's turn off the EQ and hear how it sounds on the track without it. Against the other guitar. I think it cuts quite nicely without any EQ. Let's add some reverb to it to make it sound more spacey. Let's open up our sends. Let's create a new one right here. Mono, and we'll call it Saxoverb. Just so we know it's for the sax. We'll solo safe the return, and we'll add a plugin for reverb. Let's choose the deverb. But we're going to choose mono to stereo. So have a mono send, but a stereo return. So the effect is in stereo. Let's hear a few presets. I'm thinking of a plate. And let's send it some signal. That's a little too bright. Let's try this one. That feels pretty good. It's not going to take up too much room or be too obvious. We just want to hear the effect being subtle, so we don't need it to be too bright. Let's hear that in the track. That feels pretty good. We can hear the saxophone very clearly and separate from the other guitar, and they each have their own space. But there is one thing I'm noticing. Later on in the song, about here, the saxophone plays by itself. The guitar over here comes in. But the sax takes over as the lead instrument. So for that spot, I want to treat the saxophone a bit differently. And the easiest way of doing that is putting it on its own track. So let's duplicate this track. We'll name it Sax 2. And let's separate its part on each section. Get rid of this one. And when it's not playing with the guitar, like right here, let's cut it and put it on the sax number 2 track. And the same with the ending. So I could treat it differently when it's not playing off of the other guitar. So right now, it's treated exactly the same. Same compression, same reverb. But let's pan it in the middle. Because it's not playing off the other guitar. Let's pan left. So by itself, we'll keep it in the middle. Because it's the lead right there. And let's give it a bit more reverb. It's more of a spacious part. And to make it bite more, let's add some different EQ to this one. We'll boost a little upper mid-range. Just a bit. Before. And after. It just cuts a bit more. And also for this section, this sax can be a bit more spacey. So let's make it that way by adding a delay to it. But just to this one. Go to our sends and make a new one. Mono, aux input. Let's name it delay left. You'll see why in a bit. Again, we'll solo safe this one. Put a delay plugin on there. Mod delay 3. And we want this to be in time with the song. Right now, the song doesn't have a tempo. We could change that just by tapping it in right over here. In Pro Tools, by hitting the key T over and over again in time with the song, it'll analyze the tempo. And it doesn't need to be perfect, just pretty close for the song. About there feels pretty good. 133 beats per minute. So now, we could set a delay time to quarter notes. And let's put a low pass filter at about 8 or 9 kilohertz, just to roll off the top end. Let's send it some signal. Let's pan this delay to the left. Let's make another delay and pan to the right. And we'll send it from the first delay. Delay left, new track, mono, delay right. We'll pan this to the right, put the same effect on there. And let's send some signal from the left delay going to the right delay. So it pans back and forth. but it still stops. There's no feedback. We can create feedback by going to the second delay and sending it back to the first delay. Delay left. And it's in time with the song. Turn the track. It's a pretty cool effect. And to make it sound even more distant, let's put some reverb, the saxoverb, on here as well. On the returns. So they sound more spacious. Return the track. That works quite nicely. Now let's hear the transition from sax 1 to sax 2. That works nicely. Each section sounds a bit different, and they're treated separately. So I think we're good on the sax. Let's take our returns, change their color, and move them over. Once again, so they're out of our way, all the effects returns are on this side of the master fader, and the color the same. So let's move on.